I fall like a star from the heavens. I fall into your.
Hi guys, welcome to The Budget Place. My name is Michelle. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. Happy, I think, Friday. Oh my gosh, I'm so behind on this cash stuffing. This cash stuffing was supposed to be uploaded on Sunday, last Sunday, the 15th, I believe. And so, yeah, I'm a little bit behind on cash stuffing. So I'm hopefully going to do a cash stuffing this coming Sunday and we'll be back on schedule. So the way that my or our budget works is it's a little bit more complicated because our budget needs to be kind of averaged out sometimes between several paychecks because my husband's paycheck fluctuates. And so sometimes he'll get a really high paycheck and other times he gets a lower one. So sometimes I have to use like an amount and I have to like save it for like the next 2 or even like 3, sometimes 4 weeks. And so I have to spread it out. So it doesn't always work out where I can cash stuff the same amount all the time. So I have to kind of make adjustments. And so this is one of those cash stuffings. So let's get started. So this is my variable spending binder. This front part is what I use for scheduling and kind of keeping track of my expenses. This second portion back here is where I keep all of my envelopes, and this is like the bulk of like the variable spending. So let's get started. What I'd like to do is kind of go through all of my envelopes and take out what we have left over from certain categories. So from groceries, we have $48 left over. Gasoline, we like to kind of build it up and then we fill up. I don't really go anywhere, so it kind of like we just have to put very small amounts and save that and then use it. Kids has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So $2 from this amount is Juliet's, my now 7-year-old daughter. So I have 7 kids and she's one of them. And so I hold on to her money and there's a section we're going to put that money into. So these $5 were not used. So we're going to go ahead and put that into what we're going to save for rollover money. And yeah, so this is the spending money, this is eating out money, and we'll talk about that in a short bit. And our miscellaneous money we have not touched, and we have $7 in there. So total rollover money is, let's put that together, is 20, 40, 45, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, $60. Awesome. Okay, so let's put that to the side and let's get our cash stuffing started. Okay, so this week we are sticking to $400 for groceries. So this is groceries for a family of 9. My husband works out of town a lot, so it's about 8. Most times, but he is in town right now, guys, so that's fun. And so for gasoline, we're going to put $5 in. And so I did exchange the money that we had in here and I condensed it to $50. So now we have $55. And yeah, so our vehicle fills up with about $80 average. And so for kids, we're going to put $20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's the entire amount of ones. And so this is mainly for 3 of my 7 kids. I have 2 adult kids that take care of their own finances and then 5 little ones. So out of the 5 little ones, the eldest 3 get allowance money. And there's a little bit of extra money in there for just, things that I like to pay them for doing around the house, Okay, so then we have eating out. So eating out has a $500 placeholder that we are going to use in a short bit. So we got our tax return. And so what we decided to do is along with okay, so let me back up a little bit. So every week we put in $100 of eating out money. So let's put that in now. That $100 then gets, if it's not used, it gets sent to investment. So we invest into Robinhood, and that money is transferred over there. So that's what we did last week, is we transferred the $100 over. But this week we put an additional $400 because we got our tax return. So instead of going out for Valentine's Day, my husband was not in town. Instead of going out or getting each other gifts, we put an additional $400 into investments. So now we have $1,500 in investments. And so we're going to put that into our investment category once we get there. So we're set for next week for eating out / investments. And then we have spending. So I am working with a savings challenge by Hustle and Flows Co., my friend Michelle. And so we already met the first icon, which each icon is worth $20. We have our $20 here. We're going to add a 5 this week. And so we're aiming to fill this up. And I believe, doing the math, it's going to save us a total of $200. I'm still trying to figure out what to do with that money. I'm thinking that we'll put half to debt and then half to maybe our anniversary, or maybe we'll put the whole amount to anniversary. I'm not sure. So we'll decide that when the time comes. So now we have $20, $30, $35, but $15. So $5 more to go towards that next icon. And so hopefully next week we have that money and we can fill in that icon. So for miscellaneous, we dropped it down to $5 for this week. We had to make some adjustments. And I don't think I told you guys, we started off with $850. So not our normal $900. This is one of the weeks I had to make an adjustment to our finances. So yeah, let me close that up and let me pull out the savings challenge we're using to track our rollover money. So this savings challenge is by GB over at Income Babes. And so I've been enjoying it a ton. And so we have, how much did we save? Like $60, 20, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. Wait, 20, 40, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. Huh. Yeah, I guess it's 59. Is that right? Yeah, $1 got stuck in there. So this is 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. So we have $60. All right. So let's go to the very back. And I don't know, first off, let me get my marker. I don't know if there's an icon. So this savings challenge, if you're new here, saves us a total of $2,500. So there's, I think, 5 sections. Each section has its own goal. So this section is for $100, $200, $300, and it goes all the way up to $1,000, where the middle part, I think it stops at $500 and then it jumps to $1,000. So let's pull out the tracker here and let me get a piece of paper. So let's look for the number 60, and it's right there. So let me fill it out. Okay, so we filled out the tracker for $60, and let's put the money back in the envelope. And so let's see how much we have. So this section alone is going to save us $1,000. So far we have 1, 2, 20, 40, 45, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. So $260. And so out of the $2,000, we have $260 back here, and I believe we have a few dollars in the front. All right, so let me put this away. Okay, so next is our long-term savings binder. And this binder holds everything that's long-term related. So let's start with our emergency fund. So for this week, we are putting $5 into our emergency fund. We have $2,100 in the bank in a high yield savings account. And now we have $15 in cash. Okay, so then up next we have debt. And debt, we have a ton to put towards debt. And I'm not going to take it out, but we saved up in the month of January, we saved up $3,800, and I took it out of our savings challenges, and now we're going to pay off our credit card from Amazon. So we'll be done with that. And so I'm going to take this to the bank and pay it. So I would put it in here, but we're just going to take it out. And then I don't want to mess up my envelope. Okay, so for retirement, this is where we're going to put our $500 placeholder, bringing it to $1,500. So yeah, let's move on. So then we have home maintenance, and home maintenance, just like a lot of these categories, is getting $5. So right now, home maintenance has 100 in the bank, and in cash it has 20, 40, 50. So now we have 150 altogether, and I think I might be needing to use this because I have like the pest control come every quarter, so if not 3 times a year. So vehicle maintenance is going to be getting $5 as well. So vehicle maintenance right now has 200, and in cash we have 50, 70, 75. So $275. Medical is getting $5. We have $100 in a high yield savings account, and now we have 35 here at home in this envelope. So next up we have homeschool curriculum. Homeschool curriculum has $300 in the bank, and we're going to put in a 5. So I should start with that so I don't forget. So now homeschool curriculum has 50, 70, 80, 85. So $385. And so this is one of the categories. So let me back it up again. So retirement is something that we're just going to keep on investing in, as well as emergency. And we're hoping to pay off at least $50,000 of credit card debt. We have approximately 85 last time I checked in January. And so if we can pay off all 85,000 this year, that would be amazing. But minimum is 55,000 for home maintenance. And then retirement is like an ongoing thing. And so home maintenance, our goal is to keep it at least or reach a goal of $5,000. That's not going to happen this year, but yeah. So then vehicle maintenance, I think same, $5,000. We have 2 vehicles between my husband and I. The kids have their vehicles, but they take care of all of their vehicle necessities and such. And so medical with a family as big as ours, I think we want to keep this one, or I'm aiming towards a $15,000, goal to have in medical. Homeschool curriculum, I have 5 little ones. 2 of them are not being homeschooled because they're so young, but approximately $1,200 per kid per year is what I would like to, have. So eventually we'll be needing to have yearly $5,000 minimum, maybe 5,000. Let's go with 5,500 for homeschool curriculum. So as of next year, we're gonna really ramp this category up. So then we have subscriptions. And so subscriptions, my plan is to cut off a lot of subscriptions. So I'm debating whether to take off Amazon when it renews. I'm kind of I was meaning to do it last year, but we still use it a lot. We use the Prime to watch movies and stuff, but I'm thinking of removing just a lot of subscriptions next year. So this year, did I put the money in for homeschool, guys? I think I did. Yeah. So subscriptions I'm going to drop it down for this time. I usually put, I think, $20 in here. And this week we're putting 5. So right now subscriptions has $205. So my son's graduation, we have a goal of meeting $2,000. And so right now he has, and we're putting, let me start with that because that's how I'm messing up in the other cash stuffing. So it's $300 in the bank, $100 here, so $105 here. Celebrations. We're just gonna keep trying to figure this one out. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out this amount. We've been trying 10, 20, 5, and I think I'm gonna start to put $5 for now. but we will see. This one's kind of like dependent on our income because it's not an essential. So yeah. So let's move on to my short-term sinking funds. And so this is my short-term sinking funds binder, one of my favorites. So let's jump to clothing. And so with little ones, I really want to like put a whole bunch of money in here because they grow out of their clothes so much. But this week we can only do $5. Right now we have 100, 200, 200, 300, 320, $325. We bought them clothes, or they received clothes for Christmas, and we also bought them clothes at the end of last year. But you guys know, if you have kids, you can go through a ton of money, like monthly, quarterly, and so this is gonna go so fast once we do start buying them clothes again. So yeah. So for beauty, we have $40 right now. This is gonna be used this week. This category is mainly for my son's haircuts. And so, yeah, but I also want to start using it to buy vitamins. So I might tweak it just a bit, but we'll see. So $45 in beauty. Okay. So next up is entertainment, and entertainment we have 20, 40, 60, 80, and this week it's getting $5. So now we have $85. So in adventures always get okay, so let me go back just a bit. Yeah, entertainment. So entertainment let me put this back because I will mess up. Okay, so for entertainment, this money is mainly for when my husband's in town. I'm not sure if we're going to do anything this week. If we do, that's where we pull out of this money. And so I'd like to kind of keep this at an average of $20 to $50 a month. So this kind of just depends on, income. So this week we could only do $5. So yeah, that's and that's mainly because we have to adjust our income because we prioritize first meeting our like necessities, which is like our food, or like paying our bills, and then third is our goal to pay off debt. So if there's money left over, then I distribute it, but I also have to think sort of forecast what my husband's gonna be getting, approximately for the next check or the next 2-3 checks. So I have to look way ahead and then decide what to put into these envelopes based on that information. So Adventures is getting $5, and Adventure now has $75, and this is for a camping trip we'd like to take. I don't know if we're going to take it this year, guys, but there's money being saved for that. So then we have Planner, and Planner right now has $20. And so this year, my goal is to not really spend anything for Planner. First off, I bought the planner from the Simple Budget that I can print out. And I also have kind of an undated planner from Cloth and Paper. And I also own one that I've never used from Missy Money. It's just depending on how much debt I have or how many bills I have, and if it'll fit in the budget planner. Because I've kind of used my own thing for a really long time and I've done just fine with the budget planner. But as far as a dated planner, the pages for just a monthly calendar, I've always used Cloth and Paper. This year I opted to use what is it called, guys? I'm really blanking. Let me pull it out 1 second. Okay, guys. So this is my planner. And so this is how it looks right now. And let me jump to the monthly. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what I spend, every year buying. I usually use the Cloth and Paper, but this year I'm using the one by May Paper Co. This is my first time using it. This is my thing for January. And so yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys that. I'm not sure if I'm going to use May Paper Co. this year, print out my own. I don't know, but that's what this category is for. So let's close that up. And let's pull out the family binder. So this is my family binder. This is where my entire family has a small amount of savings. This is for like events, the larger events like weddings, cars, things like that. And then in here we have a date night / anniversary envelope. I put in a gift card we got for Christmas, and I just want to have it there just in case. And so every week we put in just a little bit for date night. Again, this one, we have $200 in our high yield savings, but I'm hoping to leave that in there for our anniversary. So this week it's going to get $5. So now we have $35, so $235 technically, but we can definitely use this one for West Texas Steakhouse. All right, so this week, guys, I am gonna go ahead and put $50 in Juliet's envelope. It was her birthday. She's a Valentine's baby. Wait, I already put it in there? Holy cow. Oh, no, guys. So this $50, okay, so everybody has $50. And so every time it's somebody's birthday, we put $50 in there. So now she has $100. So everybody should have $100 at least by the end of the year because of the birthdays and whatever we're putting. So yeah, that's for Juliet. And so this week we're gonna go to parents, and I made an exception to our parents. So instead of so everybody is going to get $25 except for our parents. Our parents are going to get $5 once we get to their envelope. So now my parents has $25, $30, and then next week will be my husband's parents. And so they will be getting $5. Okay, so let's close this up. Never mind. Let me put Juliet's money. So Juliet always gets $2 for her allowance money. She has $20 right now. So now she has $22. All right. So let's close that up and let's move on to month ahead. So month ahead, I kind of decided to okay, so we've already met certain categories. So our electric, our water, and our gas and our internet have been fully funded. That money is sitting in our high yield savings. I started working on mortgage, and I pulled back because that's a lot of money right now that we just cannot. Our priority is to pay off debt. So we're gonna try to pay off a little bit more debt, finish cell phones off, and then jump back to mortgage. So let's go to our cell phones. And so cell phones this week is getting $15. So we're gonna do a 5 and a 10. So now cell phones has 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, $24. Okay, so let's color this in. 1 second. Okay, guys, so let's pull out the marker that I use and fill this in. So actually, we're going to fill in 3. So that's 5, 10, and $15 going towards cell phones. And this has 50 icons, and each icon is worth $3. So that is it for month ahead. And I didn't put the money in there. Okay. All right. So let's move on to holidays. And holidays didn't get too much of a change. Everything stayed the same. I think I might have tweaked Black Friday. So I have decided to put $5, at least for this year, for every single holiday. And so that when you multiply 5 times 52, that totals up to $260. So let's get started. So let's put $5 into New Year's. So that's 20, 30, 35 now in New Year's. Valentine's Day is getting $5. That brings it to $10. Then for Easter, we have $200 for Easter, and we're going to add 5. We have $200 in the bank for Easter, and $30, $230 in total for Easter. Mother's Day has $100 in the bank, $100 here, and we're gonna add $5. So now it has $205. Is that right? Yeah, it's right. It's not till May, so yeah. Okay, so then Father's Day has $100 in the bank, and we're gonna add a 5, bringing it to $275. Okay, so then we have 4th of July. 4th of July is also getting $5, $100 in the bank, 50, 60, 65. So $165 so far in 4th of July. Then we have Halloween, and Halloween has 50, 70, 75, $80. And to be honest with you guys, I don't like having placeholders. I love to have the cash here, but I just saw how having our $2,000 for our emergency fund, how it like paid to have it in there. And so I just really convinced me to, put the rest, or like at least in increments of $100. So anything that meets $100, I'm going to put a placeholder and then transfer it to the savings account so it can make us money. All right. And I do use SoFi, and so far I'm liking it. So yeah. All right. 50, 65. No. Yes. $65 in Thanksgiving so far. So then we have Black Friday. Black Friday is getting $5, so 50, 65. All right. And this one has gone from like $20 to $10 to now $5. Okay, so then for Christmas, we are putting, we have $300 in the bank for Christmas. We're putting $50, so now we have a total of $400. $100 here and $300 in the bank. So for birthdays, we are putting $50 for my husband's birthday, and so that's an upcoming birthday, and hopefully we can take him out for dinner. The kids, I usually buy decorations, their gifts, and we have a party here at home. We don't have big parties. We don't invite everyone. With a family our size, we don't, at least not for now. So then we have Grandparents' Day. Grandparents' Day is getting $5, and I think my plan for this envelope is for Grandparents' Day is just to distribute this money in the family binders. So not for everyone, just for the actual grandparents. So now Grandparents has $110. And even for those envelopes, it's not for like their birthdays, it's for like the more serious and important events. If they ever need something, I'd like to have money that's designated for my parents and our grandparents. So then Christmas dinner, we're gonna put in $5, and now we have $45 in there. Okay, and then we have gifts, wrapping, and cards. And so we're gonna put in $5, and that brings it to $30. And then we have home decor, and home decor is for like holiday decor, not necessarily for like our home decor. And so I'd like to spend some money for Christmas this year, and I haven't in a couple of years. And if I don't use it, like I mentioned before, I'm probably just going to put this money towards debt. So now home decor has $50, $70, $90, $95, $100 officially. Yay. Okay, so then we have family outfits, and family outfits is going to get $5, and now family outfits has $150, $60, $65, and this is for like Christmas outfits, Thanksgiving outfits, things of that nature. And then we have Christmas festivities. Christmas festivities is for like games and anything that like we need for the actual Christmas party or day of, Christmas Eve. So now it has $45 to them. All right, guys. Well, that is it for today's cash stuffing. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. I am going to be working on the next one, and so I don't fall behind on my savings goals. I haven't yet. I have like fallen behind a day or two, but so far so good. Our debt payoff plan is going to plan. Again, thank you so much for joining me on today's episode, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.